episode 64 of the Gary and Mark Show.
If you say so, it's another episode of the Gary and Mark Show.
I do say so, and we are where, Gary? I'm going to let you explain this place.
We are at Bell Park off Highway 176 outside of Saluda, overlooking the Green River.
And who is Bell?
And the Bell Park is named for Frank and Calla Bell, who had camps Mondamin and Green Cove. And for Mark and me, who met at Camp Mondamin in 71, it's kind of special to be here.
It is.
A place, named in honor of Frank or we called him Chief.
Chief
And Calla Bell.
And we are getting ready to go on a hike.
We are. We're going to go walk on, there's about 69 acres here. And, I think the total trail mileage is about a mile and a half or so. You can do some loops and turn it into a 2 mile plus walk. And
well, I just want to remind you, Gary, that the very first hike you took me on, we got lost.
That's true. We did, because we were going somewhere where I hadn't been.
And you've been here before,
I
right?
have been. This is my 4th trip.
All right. Not far from your house, not far from my house.
No.
So we're not getting lost, right, Gary?
Well, there's no promises.
But if we do get lost, it'd be good for video, wouldn't it?
Well, it would. As long as it's still the battery runs out.
That's right, battery or the card.
Yeah.
One or the other. All right, Gary.
We're going to try and stay alive for Groundhog Day, which is Sunday.
Coming up.
Yeah.
Big day. All right. We're looking forward to it.
Here we go.
You ready to go out?
I'm ready.
All right.
Let's go. It's It's going to get up to 50.
It's a good day today.
Yeah.
Here it is, a nice end of January. Yeah. Blue sky. A little bit of wind, but we're looking forward to it.
And here's my handy little, say you don't want to use gloves. If you got your old socks and the bottom part's worn out, just kind of cut that off, put your hand in it. Friend of mine calls these hobo mittens.
Hold those up a little higher to the camera now.
There they go.
Yeah, and
little homemade.
We got to remember now, a lot of our listeners are actually listening, not viewing. So we got to make sure we describe these things. That's pretty cool.
Cut the bottom, the worn out part off a sock, the tube or the pipe of the sock.
I like that idea.
Just turn that into a pair of hobo mittens.
Are those wool?
They are.
That's probably smart.
Yeah.
As opposed to cotton or something like that.
Yeah.
All right, Gary. Well, we're not going to have the video running the whole time, of course, but we'll turn it on and off as we go.
Yeah.
And looking forward to it.
Yeah, here we go.
Bell Park.
Off to Bell Park.
Let's go.
Let's go.
All right. All right, Gary, we have our first choice to make.
Yeah.
At least there's a sign. Beach Point, back in our days, there was no sign, was
there?
No,
there was no sign.
There was no sign here. So we either can go, or we can do both.
Yeah, this lower trail will take us to a deck.
All right.
A very elaborate deck, I'd say.
Well, nothing wrong with the wood
and
on
to go
this here.
view the river, which this time of year, you can see the river because the trees are bare.
So let's go on down there.
Let's do that.
You head on. I'm going to take a picture of you walking down the trail. And that way, if I fall or you fall, we can call out to each other. Heading down the trail.
Here we go.
There goes Gary. Okay, here's that elaborate trail deck Gary was talking about. This is an elaborate deck. I love this thing.
And there's more to it.
All right. Yeah, look down there.
And there's the Green River.
There's the Green River down there. We're going to head down that way, and there's a waterfall over here. Oh, man, yes.
Yeah, I looked on my topo map, the name of that creek, and I don't remember. But
yeah, so it does have a name?
Yeah, I think it does. We'll call it Bill.
Bill Street or just Bill Creek? All right, let's head down to see it.
Right.
There's looking down the deck. We're headed that way, and the river, Green River, is just beyond that. Let's head down there.
Yeah.
All right, Gary, what are we looking at here?
Well, this very nice, elaborate deck that's been built, and let's point out that some SOB has already carved their name into it.
I'm not going to get close up and film that.
Fools' names and fools' faces are always found in public places.
Say that again.
Fools' names and fools' faces are always found in public places.
I love that.
Don't be that person.
You better believe
All right.
it.
Now, beyond that, we got here's a chestnut oak tree right there.
But we're looking
at
tree.
Chestnut oak.
Is that different than just a chestnut?
Oh, yeah, it's an oak.
Okay, but why is it called a chestnut?
Well, that's because the
stuff.
leaves are somewhat similar to a chestnut tree, but the lobes are rounded. A chestnut oak, is in the, it's in the white oak family, along with the white oak and the chestnut oak.
Okay.
They're the only two native in the white oak family kind of in the south.
Something for our listeners, our viewers, or whatever, our fans.
Look that up.
Gary knows everything
No, I
about
don't.
everything. Yes, you do.
But if there's a tree, I know I'll tell you about
A
it.
tree, a plant, an animal, a footprint.
There's a whole bunch I don't.
Okay.
But looking through the woods, which we can do because it's winter, we're looking right down on the Green River. And we're looking down, you see some rapids down there. If you were to go upstream, how far, I don't know. I couldn't tell you this looks like it'd be a pretty tricky part right in here. It would be for me. But you can view the new bridge.
Way up on the horizon there.
And then beyond that is the old bridge where we're parked. And that old bridge was built in the 20s. And one of those years I worked year-round at Mondamin, one of the guys I worked with, Charlie Morgan, who was the same age as Chief, Charlie had helped build that old bridge.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So
this is a part of the Green River I've never paddled.
Well, Gary, take a second.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put the camera back on you here.
Yeah.
I want you to tell people what you, and I guess it was Hoyle Adams or someone, a trip you took on the Green, didn't you go on the Green River somewhere like a long way?
But we started well on downstream from here.
So where did you start? Down below Polk County?
We started below Lake Adger.
Okay.
We put in right off Highway 108.
Down where I live.
So we were only on the Green for about 16 miles, I think, before we hit the Broad.
Okay.
And then we were on the Broad for over a week.
And where were we headed?
The Green to the Broad to the Congaree to the Santee to the coast. And we trucked around Lake Marion. But that was a 3-week trip.
And these were with kids?
Yeah, eight boys and 2 counselors.
And you brought them all back?
But we all came back.
Was that during the summer, like during the session?
It was a year when June camp was so full that Frank Jr. did not want to turn people away. So, hey, let me invent something that'll add another, 8 seats to the, so
Smart.
8 kids.
So you did that during the 3-week session.
The one from that trip that I keep in touch with is Tommy Townsend, who's been an Episcopal priest for many years. He's an Army veteran, Episcopal priest, wonderful guy. He shows up at Canoga every now and then.
All right, good. And Hoyle's still around too?
Hoyle's still around.
So,
he's, he had 2 pine trees full on his house.
I heard about that. Is he back home yet? Living back home yet?
Well, it'll be a while for it. So they just got the roof on. He probably won't be until spring or something.
And so it's 4 months later, 3 months later. That was during Helene we're talking about.
Yeah.
All right, you ready to head up? All right, hang on.
Yeah.
The groundhog.
All right.
And Sunday is his day.
Yeah.
But,
Sunday, right?
Yeah,
And so-
Groundhog Day. Boy, I'll be halfway through winter. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm ready for
And so
that.
Gary, tell them about the video you did with the groundhog.
We did a video one time with the groundies showing how these little portable bidets,
Yeah.
you can kind of clean yourself. But we didn't really want to do either one of us. So we demonstrated on the
He wanted to do
groundhog.
himself, but I said,
And
you
you
go
can see
ahead.
that groundhog just as clean as
The whistle.
clean as a whistle. Yeah, I still backpack, but oh man, they're just I want to be sort of clean.
Comforts in life.
Yeah.
Yes.
He can see his shadow today.
Well, yeah, he can.
He can, yeah.
You're a lot wiser backpacker now.
I'm slower, but I take a 50-year-old with me. A guy I hired at the old store, who's back in Kentucky now, but he and I, yeah.
And Gary also takes a ground softener with him.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a little bourbon for the evening.
That's crazy when you say.
Okay, folks, Well, our planned hike didn't go according to plan. It's sort of like the first time we took that trip to Beach Point, and it didn't make it to Beach Point.
But we weren't lost this time, were we?
We weren't lost. It's just, it is so muddy. It's not good to walk on trail that muddy because you're probably going to fall and bust something.
And I'm used to that. So.
And so we got to come back on a day when it's drier, and we will.
We will.
Yeah, after Groundhog Day.
But it was fun.
It was fun. We ran to some people some other Henderson County people, the Marino brothers.
Yeah.
And it was nice talking to them.
And Gary knows everybody, as we
No,
said. Yeah, you do.
But,
Marino brothers.
It was nice chatting with them for a few minutes.
That's nice chatting with you, Gary. Been a while.
Same here, Mark.
So we're going to say goodbye.
Well, that's another episode of the Gary and Mark Show.
There you go. I'm Mark.
I'm Gary.
And we'll see you next time.
Yeah.